They're finally nerfing Yasuo, thank God. But wait, they're buffing Akali? Hello Summoners, and welcome back to another ProGuides video. My name is Dan, and today I'm going to be giving you guys the patch preview changes list for 10.12. We just received some confirmed news from Riot Games that these are the list of champions that are being nerfed or buffed next patch. The specific changes aren't out yet, but we'll cover those in our upcoming changes video, which will be released tomorrow when all the details have been revealed. So hit that sub button to be notified of that, and stay alert because this will be a massive patch. But before I start, I want you to join our brand new Discord server and subreddit using the link in the description. We built an amazing community over there, and this is just another way to connect with you guys. We'll be doing a ton of fun events there, like coaching giveaways, tournaments, skin giveaways, and so much more, so don't miss out on that. All right, let's jump into the video. So to start things off, let's cover the list of champion nerfs first. The list of champions who will receive a nerf next patch are Varus, Yasuo, Cassiopeia, Fiddlesticks, and Trundle. I gotta say, this is a solid list of champion nerfs for patch 10.12. Picks like Varus and Trundle have been way too strong and were highly contested champions in both pro play and solo queue. Varus with his lethality build has just been dominating the Rift, and I'm glad he's finally getting a nerf. Trundle did receive a nerf not too long ago, but it seems like it didn't do much since he's still in our S tier for our jungler tier list. Next up, the nerfs to Cassiopeia and Yasuo are both justified, since they're a little bit too strong right now. Cass is extremely oppressive in the top lane, and was a huge problem for melee top laners. Lastly, for Fiddlesticks, it seems like Riot did overbuff him last patch with those huge changes. He's toned down a bit, but he'll likely remain S+ tier for next patch. Next up, let's cover the list of buffs. The list of champions who will receive buffs next patch are Akali, Senna ADC, Xayah, Brand, and Victor. Oh boy, here we go again with the Akali buffs. We all know how well that went the last time they tried buffing her, but all memes aside, I really hope they nail it this time. I'm sure all the Akali mains out there are tired of having their champion being broken and then gutted again. On the other hand, Senna and Xayah both received buffs recently, but it looks like Riot really wants to make ADCs strong again. However, they have to be really careful when buffing Senna because it might make her role as a support even more OP than it is already. Lastly, for Brand and Victor, I'm definitely okay with these two champions getting a bit of love. They're both struggling in the current meta, and I've been loving Brand jungle recently. Moving on, we have a huge number of systems changes coming in patch 10.12. Let's start with the elemental drakes. First up, Cloud Rift is receiving a buff. When out of combat, the movement speed bonus from wind areas is going up to 35%. Also, more Scryer's blooms will spawn outside of the base gate and some near the tri-bushes. Cloud Rift has felt a bit lacking in comparison to the other rifts, and Riot wants to see more variance in these games. Overall, these changes push the Cloud Rift into a much safer version of the game we're used to with those extra Scryer's blooms. Another rift receiving a change is the Infernal Rift. While the map undergoes some changes, it feels quite similar to the Mountain Rift. Thus, 2 new blast cones are being added, one by Gromp and one outside of each team's base gates. This change further cements Infernal's Rift's presence as the version of Summoner's Rift that is easiest to move through. Next, we've got some Summoner spell changes. Summoner Ghost is receiving a major change. First, the movement speed is being reduced from 28 to 45% to 20 to 40%, and its cooldown increased from 180 to 210 seconds. But hold on, you thought this was a nerf, didn't you? It definitely isn't. The ramp-up period is going to be removed, meaning that once again, you receive that burst of movement speed immediately. On top of this, the duration of the movement speed buff will increase by 4 to 7 seconds off of takedowns. Summoner Ghost, while on a higher cooldown, will be much more rewarding and easier to use. There are a ton of rune changes, so let's go over those quickly. The Guardian rune is also up for some changes. Its range is going up from 175 to 350, and its trigger condition is changing to require a minimum of 75 to 200 damage in the last 2.5 seconds, or any damage that would otherwise be lethal. Guardian's shielding is also going up from 70 to 150 to 80 to 200, while its bonus movement speed is being removed altogether. These quality of life buffs are huge and should make the Keystone feel so much more usable. Predator is also receiving some changes. Its cooldown is being decreased from 150 to 100 to 100 to 70, and its damage from 60 to 180 plus 0.4 bonus AD and 0.25 AP to 30 to 90 plus 0.2 bonus AD and 0.1 AP. The cooldown at the beginning of the game is also being removed altogether, allowing players to make early boots purchases to utilize it. The bonus movement speed is also being changed. It's going to ramp up to 45% over 1.5 seconds while moving toward enemy champions. The channel time is being removed altogether, and the bonus damage will be applied only to enemy champions, meaning that the hunt will go on until you hit an enemy player. Thus, the duration of the hunt is being reduced from 15 to 10 seconds as well. Another rune receiving a change is Unflinching. It'll now grant 10% tenacity and slow resistance, and scale up to 30% based on missing health, reaching its max when you're at 30% health. Taste of Blood is next, but nothing big here. The rune will now have a buff bar indicating its cooldown. Nice quality of life change for those of us who use it. Finally, Approach Velocity will now provide 7.5% movement speed when moving towards movement-impaired enemy champions. The amount is doubled if you applied that crowd control. Alright, that's going to conclude this patch preview. Make sure to check out our channel very soon because we're going to be giving you guys an in-depth rundown of all the changes that'll hit Summoner's Rift next patch. Make sure to subscribe so you'll receive a notification for that video, but for now, thanks for watching and we'll see y'all next time.